Imagine putting your name on a document that could cost you everything you own and possibly your life. That is exactly what 56 men did in the summer of 1776. Hello, friends. I'm Jim Rand. Welcome to a special bonus episode of History in Decades. This week, we've premiered several special bonus episodes centered on the Revolutionary War. Make sure to go back and check them out if you haven't already. Here's a quick look at what we've covered. The strength of the local militias, Washington as commander of the Continental Army, how the French helped the American Revolution, and the severe winter at Valley Forge, where hardship and endurance helped forge a real American army. If you know someone who loves history or would appreciate these stories of courage and sacrifice, please share this series with them. It truly helps the podcast grow. Today, as we finish this series of bonus episodes, we look at the personal courage behind the Declaration of Independence and the real risks the signers accepted. When the Continental Congress approved the Declaration, the war had already begun. Signing that parchment was an open act of treason against the British Crown. These men were not abstract philosophers. They were lawyers, planters, merchants, physicians, and ministers. Many had families, property, and reputations they stood to lose. John Hancock signed first and largest. He was one of the wealthiest men in the colonies. Benjamin Franklin was already famous and aging. Thomas Jefferson was a young Virginia planter with a growing family. Samuel Adams had spent years urging resistance. Others were quieter men who simply believed the time for compromise had passed. The dangers were not theoretical. Several signers later watched their homes burned or seized. Some were captured. A few died in hardship connected to the war. Their families lived under constant threat of British retaliation. When they signed, victory was far from certain. They were staking their lives and fortunes on an uncertain cause. What gave them the courage? Many were shaped by faith and by a deep belief that rights come from God, not from kings. They had studied history. They understood that liberty is fragile. They had also watched years of growing British control and decided that further submission would destroy the freedom they already possessed.
Join us for the Rand Report, a daily breakdown of professional and college sports the way they actually are. No fluff, just the heat. If you love sports, you will love the Rand Report podcast. Links in the show notes. Subscribe today.
The Declaration itself is remarkable. It does more than list complaints. It grounds the American cause in a clear principle that all men are created equal and are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Governments exist to protect those rights. When a government becomes destructive of them, the people have the right to alter or abolish it. The signers knew words alone would not win the war, but they also knew a clear moral statement was necessary. By putting their names on that document, they made the conflict about more than taxes or trade. They made it about the kind of people Americans would choose to be. Their example still speaks. Real leadership often requires personal risk. The men who signed the Declaration were not perfect, yet they were willing to stake their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor on the belief that free people should govern themselves. Stability isn't given to us. It must be guarded by vigilant, self-reliant people who are committed to passing it on to the next generation. For more stories of courage and perseverance, listen to the Odyssey, short and engaging retellings. Links are in the show notes. This has been a History in Decades bonus episode. I'm Jim Rand. Thanks for listening.